10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium just outside of Washington, D.C. Here's the former Utah Ute Matt Gay to get this one started. And we are underway from Commander's Field. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The play fake, and it's Darnold. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. How about the defense there trying to set the tone on the very first play of the game?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a glow here tonight because they brought the heat right out of the gate. What a good job establishing the tone for this one.
The shotgun snap for Darnold. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defenders' minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Throwing now is Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The rookie from LSU leading this offense well. A good throw there leads to a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. Play action. Now it's Daniels. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 27 yards. And the Commanders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 2nd and 10. Walker with another carry. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Back to throw, Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Play action. It's Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. Look at the big man rumble. And all the way down to the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Kenneth Walker. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Seahawks are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Open man is Samuel, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First catch of the game there for Samuel, and it results in a first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Open man is Noah Brown. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 more on that one and another first down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Robinson with another carry. And a loose football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel, 37 yards. And Washington has taken the lead. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy, quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Up the middle, here's Walker. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Faking the give, Darnold. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 24-yard line.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebacks for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
Now Darnold. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from evening this one up. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Washington offense set to take over. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Fights through him. And some strong running. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Off the play fake. Daniels. Middle of the field. He's got McLaurin. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down up near the 40-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
To throw is Daniels. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Daniels. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the momentum just continuing to build and build for them. They had the touchdown, their last drive to tie the game. Now their defense does its job. And Charles, all of a sudden, they've got a chance to capture the lead here.
And we're seeing a really nice exhibition of what coaches love to call complementary football. Offense gets a tie, defense does its job, gets the ball right back, and their teammates now have momentum. What a nice job they're doing, all doing it together.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Off of play action, Darnold. This is Fant on the short completion. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Darnold. And he can't escape, and down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders offense returning to the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To the air goes Daniels. Got a man. It's Brown. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
3rd and 8. Here's Daniels. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the 1st.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Daniels looking to throw. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11. 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Robinson up the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a 1st down. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Gay's kick is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throw out wide to Walker. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling, held it to an okay gain.
He's got his target. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It was Daron Payne who got in there to make the play.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this trip, because they were there to help break that pass up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Darnold now to throw. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
A play fake, and it's Darnold. Out right to Smith-Njigba. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 29-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Darnold to throw again. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. He'll get this complete to the tight end Barner. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Man in motion left, that's Smith-Njigba. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down. Throwing now is Daniels. Here's a screen for Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. To throw is Daniels. And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. After the interception, here's Darnold. He completes this to Walker. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and cause a nice play for lost yardage.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. McCaffrey on the return. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Second and 10. And the slot man goes in motion left. Now Daniels. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think,
mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Robinson will try to pick it up, and Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack to stop him short of the first. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
And this returnable for Sims. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Out of the gun, Walker with it. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson, nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
To the air goes Daniels.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Uchenna Nwosu buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Fielded at the 20. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And from the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. From the gun, it's Walker.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
And going right back to Walker.
And some room to roam now.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
54 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
And his carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time.
Myers' kick is good, and that will push the lead up to 5.
So when you factor in the safety, this now a 5-point swing.
And look, I'm not going to turn away a 5-point swing because 5 points, that's valuable. Don't get me wrong on this. But if they could have taken that safety and added 7 to it, now you're talking about a really big swing.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. Fights off the tackle at the 20. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And the Washington offense heading out. And they'll be looking to correct course here. They had the safety turned in against them last time they had the ball. That was followed by the field goal. So they'll operate from behind now as they start 1st and 10. Here's Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
From the 29, here's 2nd and a couple. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a 1st down. They ran it and picked it up.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Daniels looking to throw. Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards for number 11. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
2nd and 2. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. 2 yards on the pickup there. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Uchenna Nwosu able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Back to Walker on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. And Walker has it. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. From the 50, it's Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Hand off here to Walker. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They run again with Walker. And a short gain down to about the 33. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Play action. It's Darnold. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba. 33 yards. And the Seahawks are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first. Well, with him trailing here in the second half, maybe his legs can try to give this offense a spark.
And that's the benefit of having a young quarterback, right? Having a rookie, a guy who will say, hold it a second, I have a little bit of fearlessness to my game. It isn't working as well the other way. Let's see what I can do to help my team this way. And boy, he did it there.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
On the counter, this is Robinson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
And that nearly intercepted, but it's incomplete. Now, remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. That is caught. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 33. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing now is Daniels. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They'll run with Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr., a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the fourth.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And out now come the Seahawks. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And some room to work. And this will be a Seahawks first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Here's Darnold. And complete to Smith and Jigba. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Washington ready to try again on offense. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. To throw is Daniels. And that's complete to McCaffrey. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
Here's 2nd down and 3. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks run with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
Now Daniels. Pass complete, Samuel.
Just too many short underneath throws. They've got to get the ball downfield.
And in a hurry. Second down, 8 yards to go. Back to throw. And that's complete to Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. He'll look to throw. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. The Commanders going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. He's back to throw. That pass caught by McLaurin. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Commanders have taken a 4th quarter lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he? Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And you just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by 1. 1:06 to play. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on 1st down. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. Room here to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. 2 timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Darnold. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Here's Darnold.
Now they go screen. It's complete.
And he's going to get out of bounds with the first. And they are knocking on the door of field goal range now.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Here's 1st and 10. Darnold to throw. Repeat of the last play, finding Walker. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Well, this crowd into it now. 3rd and 2. On the counter, it's Walker.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
We can't be totally sure that that was by design, but we do know that a lot of kickers like the ball on the right hash in order to kick the field goal.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. Myers' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.